Hello and welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Bethany Davidson, the Humane Educator here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. And joining me as always is our pet wrangler volunteer, Randy Cooper. And today we have some new faces for you, and then we'll also have some familiar faces showing up later in the show. First up, we have Oakley. And Oakley is a 6-year-old border collie. He is a trained working cattle dog. So we have a couple of things that we're looking for when we're thinking about a new owner for Oakley. First off, he's going to be older children or adult home. He's going to need an owner who has border collie experience, and they will need to have a home that doesn't have any cats or any small dogs. Unfortunately, Oakley came to us because his previous owner was downsizing their property, so they just didn't have the space that he needed to run and work and be happy and healthy there. And he also, unfortunately, went after a neighbor's cat. That is why he's not allowed to be in a home with cats and small animals, because he's trained to work. He also has a tendency to run off. So his previous owner did give some directions about what sets him off, and that he's hard to get back. So if you have a lot of land, a farm, that would be a good fit for Oakley. He hasn't seemed to be too interested in toys and treats because he is a working dog. He wants to work for you. He does know some commands because he was very well trained for this purpose. So when you say come by, he will go to the right, and when you say away, he will go to the left. But once he gets a smell or a noise, he's going to go off and he's going to run after it, and there aren't really any commands that will bring him back. So you want to keep those types of things in mind when you're thinking about adopting Oakley. He is very sweet and very well behaved. He's been sitting here for quite some time, and he's just contented to be petted and get some attention. He sits really well. He walks pretty well on the leash. We haven't really noticed anything of note other than the instinct to work and attack, which is what he was trained to do. So he does lean in and enjoys touch. He can change directions, but he's very friendly. He doesn't have any reactions to other dogs. He doesn't have any food aggression. So he's just a very sweet guy, but he needs to be in a certain environment for him to be happy. So that's what we're looking for. And if you have any of those, you meet those qualifications, please stop by and see Oakley. So next up, we have several of our felines that are available for adoption. We still have lots of dogs that are available if you're interested, but because we have so many longtime residents that are cats, we definitely wanted to feature them, especially since in the month of December, we're hoping to get our longtime residents homes for the holidays. So they're going to be going home for a $20 discount, in addition to any of the other discounts that would normally apply. So these guys are a bonded pair. They are Bootsy, who's over there with Randy, and I have Smokey here on my lap. They are senior cats. So Bootsy is 8 years old and Smokey is 9. So they would go home for a large discount because you get $20 off for the fact that they are bonded, so you have to take 2. And then they're seniors, so you would get $20 off for that. And then since they're both longtime residents, that's another $20 discount. So $95 for the pair, Randy just said. So that's if you're looking to add 2 really kind of calm, cool cats to your house, this is going to be a great way to do it because it's going to be relatively inexpensive. You're getting 2 for less than the price of 1. And these guys are very mellow, as you can see. Smokey is a little bit shyer than her friend Bootsy over there. Sometimes when you come to their cage, she might be hiding, a little more cautious when coming to the front. But they're just kind of taking it in. They like to be petted. They like the attention. And when you're thinking about getting 2, it's, you know, a lot of people come in and just pick 2. They've never been together before. You're not sure how they're going to react. But these guys already like each other. They love each other. They cannot be separated. So if you're looking for 2, these are going to be a great option for you. Maybe if you're looking for some cats, you do want 2, but you want 2 that are a little younger. We do have other bonded pairs. We have Jason and Nala, who are 6 years old. Then we just have some cats that have been homed together previously, and even though they're not bonded, they're housed together here on our facility. So Licorice and Precious are about 3 to 4 years old, and they are same situation. They are friends. They've lived together for quite some time. And then we also have Angel and Snickers that are similar in that they're not bonded, but that they are friendly. So there are a lot of options if you're looking to add a couple of cats to your home instead of just one. But these guys are very sweet. They're easy to handle. When you're thinking about taking on a cat with longer hair, because Smokey is a medium hair, she will need a little more grooming, just because you want to make sure that she doesn't get any mats and things like that. But they are going to be a great addition to any family. As you can see, somebody's kind of approaching the door, and Smokey's kind of backing away a little bit because she is shy. So it'll take her a little bit more time to kind of warm up to your family. Bootsy's just kind of hanging out. He's kneading. He's very comfortable there. But the fact that they're going to be together will help her adjust a little bit quicker. And they are available for adoption here, and as we said, they're $95 for the pair. Tattoo is another longtime resident. He's been here in the shelter since September 25th. He's been on the adoption floor since October 18th. So sometimes when an animal comes in, we keep them for a little while to help them adjust before we put them on the adoption floor, because being in a shelter environment is stressful. There's a lot of other animals around, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of noise, and they're living in a much smaller space than they're probably used to living in. So we want to give them time to adjust and kind of assess their personality before we put them out on the floor where they're going to be interacting with the public. Tattoo is 3 to 4 years old, and as everyone knows, I love those cute little pink noses, and he has one of those, and he's got some big green eyes. He's a beautiful cat. We've had cats that are similar in color and pattern before. Later on in the show, Jimmy will be here, and they look very similar. Jimmy's a little bit bigger. But he's just a very sweet guy. He comes right to the front of his cage looking for attention. As you can see, he's hearing the fan go off here. He's looking around to see what's going on. He's very inquisitive. He's just a great guy, but he needs a forever home. So he will be going home for that $20 off as well. So he would be $77.50 instead of the normal $97.50 during the month of December. We want to make sure that Tattoo and all of his friends in the cat room are having a good holiday, snuggled up with a loving family. We don't have any restrictions on Tattoo. He did have a kitty cold, which many of the cats have had. It's not a big deal. It's a cold like you or I would get. We just treat them for 14 days and then we put them back out on the adoption floor. So Tattoo has just come back out on the adoption floor in the last few days. So if you've been here recently and you haven't seen him, that's why. And he's now back out there and he's looking to find his new forever family. But since Tattoo is eager to kind of get out and play, I would encourage you to come visit him here at Frederick County Animal Control and see how he's doing and how he'll interact with you and your family when you open up the cage and let him come out and see you. He might be calm, like he's being in this particular second, or he could, like he's about to do now, try to get out, and we like to keep them in their cage and play with them that way if they're not content sitting on your lap. But please do come see Tattoo. He's a 3 to 4 year old domestic short hair. The next guest we have is Kit Kat, and when Kit Kat first came in, we aged her to be approximately a year old because the owner didn't give us an age. So when a potential adopter went and called the number that they left to get some more information about her, they let us know that she's actually 6 years old. So she's in great health, but she is considered a senior, so she'd be going home for $40 off during the month of December. She is very calm. She's not affected by the door opening here. She's just kind of looking around, enjoying the attention that she's getting. She's very sweet. According to her previous owner, she's been around dogs, babies, toddlers, children, small animals. She's not really afraid of strangers. She's playful, energetic, friendly. She's easy to handle. She's independent. She has been both indoor and outdoor. However, we always recommend that you keep your cats indoor only. It helps them in a lot of ways. you know, just keeps them safe. Make sure that they're not going to get hit by a car or get, you know, attacked by another animal or pick up, you know, parasites and fleas and things like that. But she is a very sweet girl. She likes to hang out on the top of her loft and kind of hang her head over the edge and just watch what people are doing. She is very affectionate. She's, as you can see, she's loving being a lap cat right now. But she is color-coded green, so she could be a little shy when you first get her home. It might take her a minute to kind of warm up because like as I've mentioned, it is stressful to be in the shelter. So when you're taking them from one environment to a new environment, especially a much bigger environment, you want to give them a little transition time. We always recommend that you isolate them in one room for about 10 days when you take them home, because it's a good transition period. They live in a small cage and now they're living in a little bit of a bigger room, and then you introduce them to more space so that it doesn't put them in a position where they're feeling scared and they want to go into a small space like under the couch and hide from you. And it gives you a chance to bond with them so that when you do let them out into the rest of your house, they want to come up and get the affection like she's getting right now. She wants to keep getting all of that love and the cuddles. But she is an amazing pet. Unfortunately, the people who had her before were moving and were unable to take her. So if you're interested in adding a very sweet, very petite senior cat to your home, please stop by and visit with Kit Kat. As I mentioned, she is only 6, which gives her a lot of years left. And she's in, you know, when we first assessed her, we thought she was much younger. So hopefully that's a sign that she will have many, many years of life and time spent with you and your family. So these are just a handful of the longtime residents that we have here at Frederick County Animal Control. After the break, we'll have some of our longest residents, including our longest resident who's been here over 100 days.
Hola, bonjour. Thinking about learning a foreign language? How about taking a few business courses online? Or you might just want to relax by flipping through a magazine on your mobile device. Good news! Frederick County Public Library rolled out 3 new great digital tools to help you learn the convenient way. First is Rosetta Stone, the premier language learning program with invaluable tools to help you master any one of 30 languages. Lynda.com offers all kinds of online business and tech courses to take in the comfort of your own home. And these can help you achieve your own personal and professional goals. And Flipster offers 15 popular digital magazines such as People, Time Magazine, that you can read on your mobile device and even download the app, which makes it a super easy and fast way to enjoy these magazines. 3 exciting new digital tools offered to you by Frederick County Public Libraries. They're all free, and you need only your library card to get started. Visit fcpl.org for more.
Are you looking for that perfect spot for your child's next birthday party? Look no farther. Frederick County Parks and Recreation can fulfill all your birthday party needs. Choose from any of our rec center locations. Your party rental includes tables, chairs, on-site facility supervisor, and much more. Pricing for our parties is $120 for 2 hours in our rec room or $170 for 2 hours in our rec room and gymnasium. For more information and availability, visit us on the web at www.recreator.com.
Welcome back. This is Wilma, and she is one of our long-term residents again. She's been here since the end of August. Wilma had a little bit of a break because she was in foster care while she was raising her kittens. She and her kittens all came back into the shelter at about the same time. All of her kittens have been adopted into loving families, but Wilma's still waiting for the perfect family to find her. She is about 1.5 years old. She's already been spayed, so she should be a relatively quick turnaround for anybody who's looking to adopt her. She is an adult, but she is very playful. She's one of, in my opinion, the most playful adult cats that we have on the floor. She likes mice. She likes the toys with the balls in the center. She likes anything. She will play with pretty much anything, and she loves to play. If you open up her cage and throw a toy with her, she'll carry it around, she'll hide it underneath stuff, then dig it back out. And she's very inquisitive. As you can see right now, she's definitely looking around and seeing what there is to get into. But as she's been sitting on Randy's lap, she hasn't, her claws aren't out. She's just kind of looking around and seeing what's going on. And when you look at her, she has a very distinctive face. It's very striking. It grabs your attention. And the shape of her face really sets her apart from the rest of the brown tabbies. We have a great number of brown tabbies in the shelter right now. You've seen many of them on the show today. But the fact that her face is a little narrow and she has those big green eyes really sets her apart. It's very striking. She is one of the cats that is looking toward going into the kitty cabana. She's going to get to be socialized a little bit more. Sometimes she can be a little rough when she's playing, but she has been around other cats before because she's been in a foster home with all of her kittens, interacting with them. So hopefully soon she'll be moving into that open play area where she can get some more interaction with the other animals if you're thinking about adding her as a second pet. But this is Wilma, and she is available for adoption here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. She licked your face. This next guy is another one of our brown tabbies. This is Shadow. He is one of 2 shadows on the floor right now, but he is the younger and he is the male. He is about 10 months old. He's one of our older kittens who often get overlooked because they're not the small, tiny 3-month-old kittens. But the great thing about older kittens is that they still have all of that playful energy, but they are starting to mellow out and their personalities are starting to become more set. You know what you're going to get when you adopt an older cat. When you get a kitten, it's kind of a mixed bag. You're not sure exactly whether they are going to be a lap cat or they're going to be as playful because they're kittens and they have kitten behavior. This guy has been on the floor since the beginning of September, so he spent a long time here, and we want to see him spend the rest of his childhood in a home with a family, playing and cuddling. As you can see, he's very inquisitive, but he's not struggling too much, but he's interested in what's going on. He hears the heat, the air vents going off, and he's looking around. He comes right up to the cage when you walk past his cage to see what he's doing. And he kind of he's very calm and mellow sometimes too. He just kind of lays there and relaxes. Right now he's seeing stuff moving around in the window in the corner, and he wants to get out and explore because he is still a kitten. That's what they like to do. They want to see what they can get into, and he's still a green card. Green card kittens are a little rambunctious. They like to play. So that's what you have to look forward to if you were to take Shadow home and make him part of your family. He will be going home for $77.50 during the month of December. Our next guest is Scotty, and he is one of my favorites, and he's actually the longest resident here at the shelter. He's at about 110 days here. He hasn't been on the adoption floor that entire time. He was back kind of relaxing. He is now housed in our kitty cabana. Scotty is about 8 months old. He is very active. He's got a very big personality, and He's a little dog-like. Whenever anybody new walks into the kitty cabana, he always jumps and comes down and wants to greet you. He just ate a dog treat, so he is very dog-like. His tail moves all the time, so normally we would say that that's an indicator that maybe he's a little unhappy, but even when he's happy, his tail seems to be swishing a little bit, so he's also dog-like in that regard. If you are a first-time cat owner, Scotty might not be a good fit for you because he can be a little aggressive in his play, and some people who aren't used to having a cat are uncomfortable with that. He might mellow out as he gets older. He has mellowed out since he's been neutered and since he's been in the kitty cabana where he has more room to move and play. He does love to play. He also has a sensitive side. Scotty is still a baby, and he likes to crawl up on your lap, and he will sit down and he will start sucking on the pads of his back feet. He pulls his foot up and he sucks on it like a baby would suck on their thumb, and he just kneads and purrs and he falls asleep, and he likes to do that. He does think that he's kind of the king of the castle right now. Everything in the kitty cabana is his, and he kind of, but he's learning to interact with other cats. So if you're thinking about adding him to a home that has another cat, he's doing well right now with the other cats that are in there, with Taffy and Jimmy. But it did take them a little while to, especially with Jimmy, to kind of adjust and figure out where they were and what their roles were and how to get along. So there was some fighting in the beginning, but that's not uncommon. The way that we introduced them was to put Scotty went in first, and then Jimmy went into a transition cage. So some people use those at home. If you have a large dog crate, sometimes people put them in there so they can see each other. They can't always get to each other, but they get used to each other, and then they kind of are okay with that, and then you can let them out and they can interact with each other, and that's what we use here. As you can see, he's kind of, he's still looking around, but he seems pretty relaxed, just hanging there, getting some love and attention. So this is Scotty's sweet side. He's very playful. If you have an active child who wants to constantly be playing with the cat, Scotty likes to do that, but just be mindful that Scotty's still learning how to play and what's the appropriate way to play. So sometimes his claws are out when he's scratching and he can be a little nippy, but he is very sweet. He's not aggressive in the sense of he's trying to hurt you. He's just a little aggressive in his play, and he's playing because he's a rowdy, rough and tumble boy, and he's going to make a great pet if you're willing to work with him and discipline him and get him to be the way that you want him to be. But he does have that sweet side. This guy is Jimmy, and Jimmy is currently housed in the kitty cabana with his friends Scotty and Taffy. Jimmy, when he first came to animal control, he was incredibly shy. He would hide in his little house, and he would turn it over and make it so nobody could see him. He was just very afraid in his new environment. Jimmy has come a long way since those first days back in September, and now he's pretty open. But he's comfortable in his space. When you take Jimmy out of the space that he's comfortable in, he's not super happy. Like right now, he's really uncomfortable. He's shaking a little bit because he's not used to being in here. When he was in his cage, he eventually became very comfortable there in that environment, and now in the kitty cabana, he kind of walks around and he likes to sit up high and look around and see what everybody else is doing in there, and he's very comfortable in his environment. So when you think about whether or not Jimmy is a good candidate to be part of your family, you have to take that into consideration, that he's going to take a little bit longer than maybe some other cats to adjust to life in your home and to feel comfortable. He is going to be an excellent candidate for that transitional room. We do recommend that for 10 days for all the animals, but some people do it a little less. Some people maybe would take them home and not do it at all. With Jimmy, that would be a very good idea, because he's going to be the ones that's going to run and hide because he's overwhelmed and uncomfortable and scared. Keeping him in that room is going to help him bond with you and get comfortable reduce that amount of adjustment period for him. Some cats, it can be, you know, just a day, a couple of days, and some cats and dogs even up to 6 months or even a year. We've had people who have adopted shy cats from us and have kept up with us on social media and say that it took 2 months before the cat really came out and wanted to snuggle, and now he's perfect. But it did take him a long time, and Jimmy could be one of those cats. As you can see, he's kind of trying to hide because he's trying to make himself feel comfortable. But he is a fantastic love bug, and he loves to be petted, and he likes to play. So if you're willing to take the time to let him come out of his shell, he's going to make a great pet for you and your family. He is one of our long residents, so he will be going home for that $77.50 adoption fee during the month of December as well. The last guest we have for you is Taffy. She has also been here over 100 days. She has been on the adoption floor since late September. She came to us in late August. She's a 1-year-old domestic short-hair calico, and she definitely has a little bit of that calico sass. She's a very petite girl too. She's very small. She's always looking around. She is the newest member of the Kitty Cabana, and all of those cats, you can follow what's going on with them on their Instagram. They have their own Instagram. So if you search at Cabana Cats with K's instead of C's, then you should be able to find out what's going on with them and what they're doing in their space. She was for a while in the transition cage after Jimmy and Scotty came out. And then she was in there for a couple of days and just decided that she didn't want to be in there anymore. So she let herself out, and now they all live in there together and they just kind of hang out. She is very interested in what's going on. She likes to get attention, but she will let you know kind of when she's ready to be left alone. She's very independent in that regard. She is an orange color-coded cat, which means she's an average cat. She likes to do pretty much everything, but always on her terms and when and where she wants to. And she's also always looking for the next thing to get into. As you can see, she's looking around the room, trying to figure out ways to escape maybe, ways to go explore, what she can get into. That's just average cat behavior. She was previously owned, so she has had experience in a home. Unfortunately, we don't have a profile for her, so we don't know what exactly her experiences are, whether she had been around other cats or other dogs or what have you, but she has been around cats here in our facility, as I mentioned, in the Kitty Cabana, so she would adjust probably relatively quickly to being a second cat in a home. She has already been spayed, so she's going to be a quick adoption for anyone who's interested in taking her home, because we don't have to worry about getting her on that surgical schedule. So she's going to be going home for that same $77.50 price during the month of December, and we would like to make a Taffy stay here with us short. We don't want her to be here another 100 days. So if you're interested in a cute and sassy little calico cat, please stop by and visit with Taffy. So that's going to do it for this episode of Pet Pals. We hope that you'll stop in and see these guys and all of the other many pets that we have available for adoption here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. In addition to the longtime residents, we also still have many senior pets that are looking for their forever homes. And even though kitten season is over, we do have a couple of kittens available if that's what you're looking for. So please stop by and visit us.